Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, is exploring Dino Valley when she stumbles upon a hidden garden that glows with magical light. The flowers sparkle like stars, and the air is filled with magic. But as she watches, the glow begins to fade. Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, gathers her friends Bluette, Sunny, and Twiggy to help her solve the mystery. They pack a small bag with supplies and set off for the glowing garden. Dinolette and her friends enter the glowing garden and find that the trees are whispering. The trees tell them that the garden's glow is fading because a magical crystal has been stolen. To restore the glow, they must find the crystal and return it to the garden. Dinolette and her friends find a field of glowing flowers, where they must solve a puzzle to reveal a hidden clue. The clue leads them to the first piece of the magical crystal. Dinolette and her friends reach a singing stream, where they find the second piece of the magical crystal hidden under a rock. But the stream won't let them pass unless they sing a song that matches its melody. Dinolette and her friends enter a crystal cave, where they find the third piece of the magical crystal hidden in a glowing crystal. But the cave won't give up the piece unless they solve a riddle. Dinolette and her friends return the magical crystal to the garden, restoring its glow. The garden sparkles with magical light, and the flowers come back to life. Dinolette and her friends celebrate their adventure with a picnic in the glowing garden. They laugh and play, knowing that the real magic is the joy of helping others and protecting nature. Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, gathers her friends Bluette, Sunny, and Twiggy to help her solve the mystery. They pack a small bag with supplies and set off to find out why the stars are disappearing. Dinolette and her friends hear the wind whispering that the stars are being stolen by a mischievous cloud. They must find a way to reach the clouds and stop the thief. Dinolette and her friends find a magical ladder made of clouds that leads to the sky. They must climb the ladder and solve a puzzle to reach the mischievous cloud. Dinolette and her friends reach the mischievous cloud, who has been collecting stars because it was lonely. Dinolette convinces the cloud to return the stars by promising to be its friend. Dinolette and her friends reach the mischievous cloud, who has been collecting stars because it was lonely. Dinolette convinces the cloud to return the stars by promising to be its friend. The mischievous cloud agrees to return the stars, and the night sky is restored to its full glory. The stars twinkle brightly, and the cloud becomes a new friend. Dinolette and her friends celebrate their adventure with a nighttime picnic in Dino Valley. They laugh and play, knowing that the real magic is the joy of helping others and working together. Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, is playing in Dino Valley when she finds a glowing golden feather hidden in the grass. The feather sparkles with magical light, and Dinolette's eyes widen with curiosity. Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, gathers her friends Bluette, Sunny, and Twiggy to help her solve the mystery. They learn that the feather belongs to a majestic golden bird and that they must find the bird to return the feather. Dinolette and her friends enter the whispering forest, where they find a clue hidden in a tree. The trees whisper that the golden bird has flown to the Crystal Mountains. Dinolette and her friends reach the Crystal Mountains, where they find a puzzle hidden in the rocks. They must arrange the crystals in the correct order to reveal a hidden path. Dinolette and her friends find the majestic golden bird perched on a glowing crystal. The bird is sad because it lost its feather, but Dinolette returns the feather, and the bird's glow is restored. The golden bird thanks Dinolette and her friends for their kindness. With a burst of light, the bird's glow is fully restored, and it flies into the sky, leaving behind a trail of golden sparkles. Dinolette and her friends celebrate their adventure with a picnic in Dino Valley. They laugh and play, knowing that the real magic is the joy of helping others and working together. One morning, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, was playing near a crystal-clear jungle stream when something fluttered down from the sky. It was a magnificent feather, shimmering with all the colors of the rainbow. As soon as she touched it, a soft voice echoed, "Find me, and the sky will dance with color." Dinolette followed the whispers of the feather, leading her to a mystical hidden mountain deep in the jungle. The path was filled with twisting vines, glowing mushrooms, and secret tunnels. Along the way, she met a talking parrot who warned her, "The feather guardian lives at the highest peak, but beware, the winds test those who seek it." At the mountain's peak, Dinolette found a giant, glowing bird with radiant feathers, the legendary feather guardian. The bird spread its wings, creating a powerful wind, and spoke, "Only one with a pure heart may return color to the sky." Dinolette bravely held up the rainbow feather, and a burst of dazzling colors swirled around her. With a mighty cry, the feather guardian flapped its wings, sending waves of rainbow light across the sky. The jungle lit up with dazzling colors, and for the first time, a beautiful rainbow stretched from one end of the sky to the other. The guardian thanked Dinolette and gifted her a tiny rainbow feather pendant before soaring into the sky. Dinolette smiled, knowing she had helped bring magic to the jungle once again. One evening, as the jungle glowed under a golden sunset, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, wandered near a hidden lake she had never seen before. The water was crystal clear and shimmered with tiny silver ripples, even though there was no wind. As she stepped closer, the lake whispered her name. "Dinolette, help us." The ripples formed strange symbols, as if the lake was speaking in a secret language. The lake revealed its secret. A long time ago, a hidden village beneath the water was trapped in an endless sleep. Only someone pure of heart could break the enchantment and wake them. Dinolette saw faint glowing houses beneath the water and decided to dive in. As she swam down, tiny glowing fish guided her deeper, where a magical stone covered in vines rested at the center of the village. Dinolette placed her tiny paw on the magical stone, and suddenly, golden energy burst from it. The water shimmered, and the village began to glow with life again. One by one, the villagers, small, water-dwelling creatures with fins and glowing eyes, woke up from their deep sleep. They looked at Dinolette in awe and gratitude, their voices finally heard after so many years. The grateful villagers cheered, and the whispering lake transformed. It was now a lake of stars, reflecting the night sky perfectly. To thank Dinolette, the village elder gave her a tiny water pendant, shaped like a droplet of silver light. As Dinolette returned to the surface, she smiled, knowing the lake's secret would now live on in harmony. One morning, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, was exploring the jungle when she noticed a long trail of tiny ants marching in perfect rows. Curious, she followed them through the trees until she reached a hidden clearing. To her surprise, the ants were carrying tiny, shimmering flower petals and golden grains toward a giant anthill decorated with glowing mushrooms and tiny banners made of leaves. As Dinolette watched, she heard tiny voices crying for help. She followed the sounds and found a large ant wearing a tiny golden crown, struggling in the mud. It was the ant queen, and she couldn't escape. Dinolette knew she had to help. She carefully scooped up soft jungle leaves, laying them down to create a safe path for the queen to crawl out. With the ant queen finally free, the ants cheered and invited Dinolette to join their grand parade. They crowned her with a tiny flower ring and gave her a spot at the front of the procession. The ants drummed on tiny pebbles, played music using hollow twigs, and danced as they carried gifts to the anthill. At the anthill, the ant queen presented Dinolette with a gift, a shimmering golden honey drop, the ant's most prized treasure. Dinolette tasted it and felt warmth spread through her, filling her heart with happiness. She waved goodbye to her new tiny friends, knowing she had experienced something truly magical. One day, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, wandered beyond the jungle into a vast, golden desert. The sand sparkled like tiny stars, and the wind carried mysterious whispers. Suddenly, a small twirling dust cloud appeared, swirling with blue and silver sparkles. Dinolette cautiously stepped closer and saw tiny symbols forming in the air, as if the desert was trying to tell her something. The wind picked up, guiding Dinolette toward a half-buried stone door in the sand. Strange markings covered it, glowing faintly. As Dinolette brushed away the sand, the door shook and slid open, revealing a hidden staircase leading underground. Curious but excited, she stepped inside, where walls shimmered with ancient glowing carvings, depicting creatures she had never seen before. At the center of the underground chamber was a floating crystal, pulsing with energy. As Dinolette approached, the walls trembled, and suddenly, a magical sandstorm burst into life. Instead of being harsh, the sandstorm was soft and glowing, forming shapes of ancient desert creatures, like giant turtles, hawks, and foxes made of swirling golden dust. They danced around Dinolette, guiding her toward the crystal. As Dinolette gently touched the crystal, the sandstorm calmed, and the golden creatures merged into the crystal, causing it to shine brightly before gently floating into Dinolette's claws. As she climbed back to the surface, the once whispering wind now carried a warm, joyful hum, as if thanking her. She left the desert, carrying the glowing crystal, a gift from the spirits of the dunes, knowing she had uncovered a secret that would remain in her heart forever. Covered in strange symbols. As Dinolette stepped closer, her reflection winked at her, but she hadn't moved. Suddenly, the mirror glowed brightly, and a swirling portal appeared on its surface. Before she could step back, a force pulled her inside. Dinolette tumbled through the portal and landed in a bustling city of dinosaurs. Unlike her jungle home, this place had huge stone towers, glowing lanterns, and dinosaurs of all shapes and sizes walking on wide stone streets. A wise old triceratops wearing golden jewelry approached and gasped. "You must be from the future. This is the great Dino City from 1,000 years ago." Dinolette's eyes widened in amazement. She had traveled back in time. As Dinolette explored, she saw a huge hourglass in the city square, its sand flowing in reverse. The wise Triceratops explained, "Our city will soon vanish into history, as all things must pass. But our stories will live on." Suddenly, the sky darkened, and the buildings began to fade. Dinolette realized that the city was disappearing back into time. Before everything vanished, the Triceratops handed Dinolette a small, glowing time stone. "Take this, so the past is never forgotten." As she held it, the mirror portal appeared again, pulling her back. Dinolette tumbled back into the jungle, the cave now silent and empty. The mirror had vanished, but in her claws, the time stone glowed softly, reminding her that she had witnessed a lost world. She smiled. What other secrets did time hold? One morning, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, woke up to find a strange mist covering the jungle. The air smelled sweet, like fresh rain and wildflowers. As she walked forward, she saw a trail of shimmering droplets leading through the trees. Curious, she followed the trail until she heard a roaring sound, not like thunder, but something magical and powerful. The mist cleared slightly, and she saw something unbelievable, a gigantic waterfall made of glowing, rainbow-colored water. As Dinolette stepped closer, the rainbow water sparkled and a tiny golden fish jumped out, hovering in the air. "Welcome, Dinolette," the fish spoke. "This is the Rainbow Falls, a secret place of magic. Only those with pure hearts can see it." Dinolette's eyes widened. "Why is it hidden?" she asked. The fish twirled in the air. "Because it holds the magic of colors. But a problem has appeared, the red part of the rainbow is fading. Without red, the jungle will lose its warmth and passion." Determined to help, Dinolette asked, "How can we bring the red back?" The golden fish smiled. "You must find the heart ruby, hidden deep in the jungle. Only then will the red return to the falls." Dinolette dashed through the jungle, searching for clues. She noticed a patch of red flowers, but they looked wilted. Beneath them, half buried in the soil, she found a glowing red gemstone. As soon as she touched it, a warm energy filled the air. The flowers bloomed brighter, and the sky looked more colorful. The magic was working. Dinolette rushed back to the Rainbow Falls and tossed the heart ruby into the water. The waterfall shimmered, and the missing red color burst back into the rainbow like a glowing sunrise. The jungle became even more vibrant, with flowers blooming, birds singing, and the warm golden sun shining through the trees. The golden fish beamed. "You have saved the balance of colors, Dinolette. The jungle will always remember your kindness." As the mist slowly faded, the waterfall sparkled one last time, and Dinolette smiled, knowing she had witnessed true magic. One morning, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, was exploring a new part of the jungle when she stumbled upon a mysterious cave entrance hidden behind thick vines. A strange blue light flickered from inside, and she felt a gentle humming vibration coming from deep within. Curious, she pushed aside the vines and carefully stepped inside. The moment she entered, the walls around her began to glow, revealing thousands of sparkling crystals in every color imaginable. As Dinolette walked deeper into the cave, the crystals around her started floating in the air, moving in graceful patterns like they were alive. Suddenly, a massive purple crystal in the center of the cave pulsed with light, and from within it, a tiny glowing creature emerged. "I am Lumo, the guardian of the crystal caves," the creature said. "The crystals are losing their glow because their energy source has been trapped. Will you help me free it?" Dinolette, always eager for adventure, nodded excitedly. Lumo led Dinolette to a hidden chamber deep inside the cave, where a large golden crystal lay covered in dark vines. "This is the energy core," Lumo explained. "It powers the entire cave, but the vines are draining its magic. We must clear them before the cave loses its glow forever." Dinolette used her little claws and gently pulled at the vines, but they wouldn't budge. Thinking quickly, she blew a small puff of warm air, and the vines shriveled up and vanished, revealing the glowing golden crystal underneath. As soon as it was free, the entire cave burst into a dazzling display of lights, and the floating crystals spun joyfully in the air. With the energy restored, the cave shimmered brighter than ever, filling the jungle with soft glowing light. Lumo twirled in happiness. "You saved the crystal caves, Dinolette. As a gift, you may take a tiny glowing crystal. It will light your way in the darkest places." Dinolette picked up a small blue crystal, which pulsed softly in her paw. As she left the cave, she looked back and saw the crystals dancing happily in the air, glowing with renewed energy. Smiling, she tucked the crystal into her little satchel and thought, now I'll always have a little bit of magic with me. One bright morning, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, woke up feeling extra energetic. She ran to the lagoon near the jungle and splashed around happily. But as soon as she left the water, something strange happened. The sun reset in the sky, and the morning started all over again. She blinked. Hadn't she just done this? She splashed in the lagoon again, but when she left the water, time reset once more. Dinolette gasped. She was stuck in a time loop. Determined to find out what was happening, Dinolette dove deep into the lagoon. At the very bottom, she found a glowing silver hourglass, floating weightlessly in the water. As she reached for it, a majestic sea turtle with glowing blue eyes appeared. I am Tidra, the guardian of time, he said. The hourglass controls the flow of time, but it has been broken. If it is not fixed, you will be stuck in this loop forever. Dinolette nodded. Tell me what to do. Tidra explained that the golden sand inside the hourglass had been spilled into the lagoon. Without it, time couldn't move forward. Dinolette quickly swam around, searching for the missing grains. She spotted tiny glowing golden specks trapped in a coral cave, but the entrance was blocked by twisting vines. Thinking fast, she used her small but strong tail to push the vines aside, then carefully scooped up the golden sand in her tiny claws. As soon as she placed it back in the hourglass, a warm glow filled the water, and the lagoon pulsed with energy. Tidra smiled. You have restored the balance of time, Dinolette. He flipped the hourglass, and as the golden sand flowed smoothly, the jungle around them shifted back to normal. Dinolette swam to the surface and saw that the sun was now moving across the sky as it should. No more time loops. She did a happy spin and waved to Tidra as he disappeared into the depths. Feeling proud, she splashed in the lagoon one last time, but this time, time didn't reset. She laughed and ran back into the jungle, excited for whatever adventure came next. One day, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, wandered to the edge of the jungle and saw a mysterious island floating in the distance. She had never seen it before. Curious, she stepped toward the water, but as soon as she blinked, the island vanished. She rubbed her eyes. Was she imagining things? But then, a soft whisper floated on the breeze. Find me before I disappear forever. Determined, Dinolette searched for a way to reach the island. Suddenly, a tiny wooden boat drifted onto the shore, glowing with starlight. The boat rocked gently, as if inviting her aboard. As soon as she climbed in, the boat began to float above the water, gliding on beams of silver light. The stars above shimmered, guiding her toward where the island had vanished. As the boat touched down, the island suddenly reappeared beneath her feet. She gasped. It was a place of wonders. Giant glowing flowers, waterfalls flowing upward, and golden fireflies that whispered secrets. A ghostly figure of an ancient explorer appeared and spoke. This is the island of secrets, hidden from time. It appears only to those brave enough to seek it. But it will vanish forever unless you do one thing, leave behind a secret of your own. Dinolette thought carefully. Then, she whispered. Sometimes, I'm afraid of the dark, but I pretend I'm not. The island rippled with golden light. Dinolette's truth had saved it. As the golden light settled, the explorer smiled. Because of your honesty, the island will never vanish again. Dinolette looked around in delight. Now, anyone could find the island if they truly listened to their heart. She waved goodbye to the explorer and stepped back onto the starry boat. As she drifted home, she turned for one last look. The island now stood proudly under the moonlight, never fading away again. Dinolette grinned. Maybe one day, she'd return. After all, everyone has more secrets to share. While wandering deep in the jungle, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, discovered a massive ancient tree with swirling golden leaves. At its center, a single glowing fruit hung low, pulsing like a heartbeat. Curious, she took a bite, and suddenly, everything around her rewound. She found herself back at the moment before she had taken the bite. The fruit was whole again, hanging in the same spot. What just happened? Dinolette gasped. Excited and confused, Dinolette plucked the fruit again, and the jungle rewound once more. Every time she picked the fruit, time reset. She tried different things, jumping, running, shouting, even dancing, but each time, she ended up back in front of the tree, holding an untouched fruit. She groaned. Am I stuck forever? A deep, echoing voice spoke from the tree. To break the loop, you must do something truly unexpected. Dinolette thought hard. What hadn't she tried? Then, she stepped backward instead of forward, and suddenly, the fruit turned silver, and the loop broke. A wise owl-like guardian with glowing eyes emerged from the tree. You have passed the test of time, it hooted. Only those who think beyond the obvious may control the future. As a reward, the guardian gave Dinolette the silver fruit, now filled with time's magic. Use it wisely. One bite will let you pause time for a moment, but only once. Dinolette carefully tucked the fruit away. Who knew when she might need to freeze time? With a wave to the guardian, she ran back to the jungle, feeling smarter and braver than ever before. One thing was certain, she would never look at fruit the same way again. One morning, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, was exploring a hidden valley when she saw books floating in the air like birds. Pages fluttered as if whispering secrets, and a golden staircase of glowing bookshelves led to a massive library floating in the sky. Curious, Dinolette stepped onto the first shelf, and, whoosh, she was lifted into the air, soaring toward the sky library. Inside the floating library, books shelved themselves, whispered secrets, and rearranged their stories. A tall, floating book with glasses flapped toward her. Welcome. I am the great bookkeeper. This is the library of forgotten stories, where lost tales wait to be read. Dinolette gasped. What happens if no one reads them? They vanish forever, the bookkeeper sighed. Unless someone like you finds them. The bookkeeper handed her a half-written book. This story has never been finished. If you complete it, it will live forever. Dinolette read aloud. A brave explorer entered a hidden cave and found a sleeping dragon. But what happened next? She thought hard, then grabbed a feathered quill and wrote. The dragon woke up, not in anger, but in kindness. He guided the explorer to a treasure of wisdom, books full of forgotten stories. As she wrote the last word, the book shimmered and flew onto a golden shelf, saved forever. The bookkeeper beamed. Because of you, this story will never be lost. As a reward, the library gave Dinolette a tiny book-shaped pendant. This will guide you to any lost story in the world. With a final wave, the bookshelves lowered her gently back to the jungle. As she landed, she looked up. The floating library had vanished, waiting for another storyteller to find it. Dinolette grinned. She would never stop looking for forgotten stories. One evening, Dinolette, the pink baby dinosaur, was playing near a giant dormant volcano when the ground rumbled beneath her feet. Suddenly, cracks of glowing lava appeared, and a massive, fiery face emerged from the mountain's peak. It was the volcano spirit, and it looked angry. "You have awakened me," the spirit boomed. "Who dares disturb my sleep?" Dinolette gulped. "I was just playing," the volcano spirit roared. "Before I return to sleep, you must complete 3 challenges to prove your bravery." Challenge 1, cross the lava river. Dinolette jumped across floating rock platforms, dodging bursts of steam. Challenge 2, find the hidden crystal. She crawled through a narrow lava cave, using glowing mushrooms to light her way. Challenge 3, calm the raging fire. She blew on a sacred ember, making it glow soft and peaceful instead of wild and angry. The volcano spirit watched, impressed. "You are small, but you are strong." Just as Dinolette finished the last challenge, the ground shook violently. The volcano rumbled louder than before. "Oh no!" cried Dinolette. "The volcano is going to erupt." The volcano spirit groaned. "I am too restless. The fire inside me is out of control." Dinolette thought fast. She grabbed a handful of cool blue crystals from the cave and tossed them into the lava. A wave of calming energy spread through the mountain. The shaking stopped. The volcano settled back into silence. The volcano spirit let out a deep sigh. "You have saved me, little one." As a reward, it gifted Dinolette a magical flame, glowing softly in her palm. "This fire will never burn, only guide you when you are lost." Dinolette smiled. "Thank you. I'll use it wisely." As she walked back into the jungle, she turned for one last look. The volcano spirit had vanished, and the mountain was peaceful once more.